Hey guys, Max here, and this is a new background for me. I'm in a hotel room because I am in Austin, Texas right now, and it has been a really long day. I had a 7:30 a.m. flight. I had a connection out of Houston, and I just spent about 3 hours teaching, training, answering questions here at Digital Marketer HQ at a war room training. So Ezra Firestone, a good friend of mine, a mentor, is running a special e-com edition of War Room, which is a really probably the number one mastermind for high-end business owners in the online world. Super exclusive. And so I was thinking about what could the tip of today be? And I wanted to tie it into my experience today. And so I'm going to preface this video by saying, if you're looking for a tip like the last 13 days, where it is a specific actionable marketing tip, like, hey, do this for manual bidding or use this budget automation or whatever it might be, then this is not your video. I'm gonna speak a little more broad in today's video, but I believe it's something that's super important, and I wish it's something that people told me earlier on. So, and it applies beyond just marketing. It applies to entrepreneurship and your life. And so quick story. About 2 years ago, almost to the day, I was a nobody. And I shouldn't say that in the negative tone. I wasn't known, right? So not a nobody, like I didn't have purpose or meaning or any joy in life, because that's not true. But I was unknown, public. Nobody in the marketing space, the e-com world, anything knew who I was. And Ezra Firestone, who I'm now honored to call like a friend and a mentor and a guide, gave me a call. We got connected to a mutual friend, and invited me to speak at his e-com All-Stars event here in Austin. And it's crazy. Today I was doing a lot of, yesterday and today on the flight, was doing a lot of just like deep dive, like just thinking, right, about how far I've come and how grateful I am. To think that in 2 years, I went from speaking on my very first stage, having no idea what I was doing, being terrified of being out of my element, speaking on a stage, speaking as an expert in something, and sharing stuff with 500, 400, 300, 800 people at a time. In that first, I think the first event, it was maybe 400 people that were there in the audience, which was really intimidating for a first event to speak at. To almost 2 years to the day, being back in Austin with Ezra, but this time being at Digital Marketer HQ, speaking at one of the most prestigious, it's been a long day, prestigious like masterminds in the world, and something that, it was really cool for me, and to be able to do that and be a peer with Ezra, and just know that I've been able to build a relationship with this guy for the last 2 years. And I remember, 2 years and 1 day ago, I would have killed to be able to just meet him in person, right? And I bought all his courses and followed him and stuff, and I was still starstruck on that phone call, getting to speak to him 2 years ago. And so what's the point of what I just said? Well, the point is that I believe wholeheartedly in persistence and hard work. Now, obviously, if something just clearly isn't working, you shouldn't just keep putting more and more time into it, right? You need to know when to cut your losses. However, whether it's running your Facebook ad campaign, whether it's growing your business, whether it's pursuing your dream or your passion, I'm living proof that if you do what you love, if you put in the work and you believe in something, whether it's your product, whether it's yourself as a coach, a teacher, whatever it might be, if you genuinely believe in what you're doing, you have fun with what you're doing, you're passionate about what you're doing, and you give 110% effort, you will be successful. I really do believe on that. I do believe that wholeheartedly. I have not met a single person that is doing what they love, who's successful, or who's doing what they love and putting the hard work, busted their ass, was passionate, having fun, gave 110% effort, went all in, and didn't achieve success. I don't know a person in that camp. And there's a lot of anecdotal examples of famous people like Adam Levine on Howard Stern show talking about, like, Howard asking, how many of your friends do you know that are now, playing bar gigs or working 9 to 5 job and failed in the music industry. And what Adam said was, none of my friends who went all in, meaning they weren't half in, half out, meaning they didn't have like a day job to pay the basic bills and then pursue their career, but went all in and slept on couches and get, 100%. All those people are successful, he said, that he knows. And so when you're looking at your ads, let's tie this back to your paid traffic. I think a lot of people give up way too early. Not just on their ads, but on their business. But like specifically with their ads, I think in the testing process, for example, I see so many ad accounts on such a regular basis. Such a common question is, hey, like, why isn't this working anymore? It made money for one day and then days 2 and 3 didn't make money. Well, you're only spending, $10 a day per ad set, or $100 a day for a CBO with 15 ad sets in it, and you have a target $20 CPA. You're just not giving it enough time. You're not giving it enough effort. You're not putting in enough. And I believe if you believe in what you're doing, you should give it 100%. Because the last thing you want to do is look back a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and regret not going all in. Look back and think, man, I don't like what I'm doing anymore. Like, I'm doing it safe, I make money, but like, I'm not having fun doing it. I'm not passionate about it, but I was passionate about that one thing I did 3 years ago, but I just kind of gave up on it because it wasn't making me money, or I was struggling. Listen, if achieving success was easy, then success would mean nothing, right? The one reason why achieving success feels so good is because it's so hard to get there. And you encounter so many challenges to get there, right? That's just a fact. Like, if you own a Lamborghini, buying a Ferrari doesn't excite you, right? You're not like, oh my God, I'd give anything in the world to buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. You already have one, right? You get things that used to be luxuries are now like norms, right? They're now like like my basic standard of living, right? The same thing's true with success. It's like, hey, if you started day one making $1 million a month, there's not anything to push you. Like, making $1.5 million is not going to be that big of a deal. But if you start out making zero and you struggle for months and years and you grind and you put in the hard work, when you make that $1 million, it is a massive win, and there's so much satisfaction and joy that comes from that. Not because of the money, but because of the accomplishment, because it represents something that you've achieved, going from here to here, doing something that other people didn't do. Other people gave up. Most people give up, right? The truth is, whether it's paid ads, whether it's entrepreneurship, whatever it might be, whether it's learning a second language, going to the gym, most people quit. It is way easier to encounter a challenge, to have a bad day on your ads, have a bad week with your ads, test 5 different angles and they all fail, and give up, than it is to test a 6th angle, and then a 7th angle, and then an 8th angle. Or, to lose money one day but keep going the 2nd day, and the 3rd day, and the 5th day, and put in a month or 2 months of testing and losing money because you believe in what you're selling, right? You believe in what you're promoting, you believe in what you're marketing. So again, today's tip, it is a paid traffic, but it's also a life tip. And I might only be 29 years old, and I might not be a billionaire and have tons and tons of success. But like, I can tell you, living the more I'm living right now, where I'm kind of realizing I'm always going, right? We're all so fluid, and we're always focusing on the next thing. We all set these big goals, but we never take a step back, pause, and appreciate when you hit those goals. That is something I'm guilty of, and a lot of people are guilty of in our space. And so today I really got to spend a lot of time thinking about the last 2 years and how much things have changed in 2 years. 2 years ago, not only was I not a figure, nobody knew who I was struggling. I was really struggling in every way you could think about it, right? In every aspect of my life, I was struggling. And I was so lucky to have just an incredible fiance at the time, a support system, to have an incredible team, an incredible just friends and everything you need behind you, and to know that I love this. I identified the thing that I love doing, and I went all in on it, because I said, hey, at the end of the day, at least if I'm doing this, I'm having fun every day. Even if I'm not making money, even if I'm struggling, I would rather struggle and have fun and be passionate about what I'm doing than be safe and work a 9-to-5 job and be miserable. Because that was the option I had. I could have went the 9-to-5 route anytime in my career. I've never worked a 9-to-5 job since high school. Um, so I really think, let's tie it back to paid traffic. I think if you're looking at your ad campaigns right now and you're thinking about like, yeah, I'm going to throw in the towel. This ad's not working. Like, truly evaluate that. Truly think through that decision, because it's a big decision. And I really do believe that most marketers throw in the towel way too early. They spend a few $100s on a product before they give up. That's not enough. You can't possibly test enough angles, enough landers, enough videos, enough audiences. You couldn't possibly test enough to know that this doesn't work for a few $100s, even a few $1,000s. When we test affiliate stuff, like when we did Neck Hammock, an offer that we spent, $300,000-400,000 on and sold, close to $1 million worth of this product, like we went $30,000-40,000 in the hole right out the gate. Like the first month and a half, we lost money. We were down about $30,000, but we knew, hey, this is a killer product. It's in the right time. It's one of the holidays. We will make this work. We're trending in the right direction. We're still losing money, but we're trending in the right direction. And the holidays are coming. We knew that this was going to work. So we could have easily been down 30K and be like, we're going to call it. We're going to just move on. We'll, hey, we'll chalk it up to a loss. But we kept pushing. It wasn't the easy decision to make, but it was the right decision to make. And we ended up not just recouping our losses, but generating a very, very nice profit in about a 2-month window. And so that's what I want you to do. I want to challenge you to be uncomfortable. Push through those hard times, whether it's testing a new angle, whether it's testing a new offer, whether it's launching a new business, and push through. As long as you believe in it, as long as you're passionate and you're giving 110%, if you push through that, you will be successful. Now, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be next week, it might not be next month, but it will happen. For me, it took years. For a lot of people, it takes years. For some people, it happens in a few months. But again, can't control that. All you control is your happiness. So I appreciate you guys dealing with this more emotional, kind of sobby paid traffic tip of the day, but I felt it was important to share, and I felt like this is a good medium to share it in, and I felt like there are lessons you can pull from this that are applicable for your advertising campaign. So again, hope you guys have a great day. I hope you have just tremendous success in everything you're doing. If there's anything that I can do personally to help you, if you want to ask me questions about my experience with this stuff, if you're going through challenges, if you're thinking about giving up, I would love for you to reach out to me because I want to talk you out of that. Awesome. Thanks, guys.